Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the commentary for It Just Might Work. I'm Tyler Pilkinton. I directed, wrote, executive produced, and starred in the movie.
And I'm Richard Murray. I was a co-writer as well as another executive producer in the movie, and I act as well.
So yeah, this is exciting.
I guess welcome to the director commentary.
The director and co-directed commentary.
Yeah, there we go.
Because we basically this is our movie. Well, it's mine, but
it's Tyler's.
It's mine, but it's also his in his own way. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, he helped me from the start.
So I guess all right. So the first scene is gonna come up in just a couple of seconds. And,
also, kudos to my mom for doing the music. That's her work.
Nice.
That's the music. Yeah, she does a lot of it.
Alright,
there I am.
Shh. Pay attention. Just kidding. We have to talk. That's the whole point of this. Yeah, we gotta talk. All right. So here comes the very first reference to the chemistry book.
Yeah. We tried to incorporate as much as we could in almost every shot that we did. Of course, you know, as production went on, it kind of
it just didn't happen.
It was lower on our priority list. So,
but yeah, the first like week or two of filming, there was a chemistry book in nearly every shot. I guess not here because he just put it in his locker. Oh no, Clinton's got one.
Yeah,
there you
see
go.
that I'm telling you, and we're actually in a minute. You're going to see a little bit of a continuity error on our part. I'll explain in a minute, but just be patient.
Oh yeah, it's with that door, right?
It's actually it's with the chemistry book.
Oh,
I'll show you in a minute.
I mean, we did a couple of tricky little things.
Yeah.
Because
I know this film like the back of my hand, you know, inside out. And there's the first. I called them offsides. I think the technical term in literature and filmmaking is an aside, which is what
I don't know.
Which is what Quinn called it. I think he would know. He's intelligent.
Quinn probably knows his stuff. Yeah. But yeah, this hallway was kind of like infinite because we went back multiple times and continued walking from the same point to get this whole shot in.
Mm-hmm. It's in the bloopers.
Yeah, so that door, we walked by it like a good minute ago.
Oh yeah, and that was just to make the hallway seem longer so that we could have more action.
Yeah.
You know. Scenes.
There's Liggett.
Good old Ben Liggett. And this was...
Attack!
Yeah.
What was that?
I was going to say that this is his first scene that we filmed, but I'm not sure anymore, actually, because we filmed... The first scene of the movie was filmed over 4 days. Like, that little part in the
intro.
Yeah, with Clinton. That was 1 day. And then this is another day.
Yeah.
And then when we're inside the classroom,
it's another day.
It's another day.
Yeah. That's pretty funny. Like, I never really thought about that. It's because of the fact that we have different actors in different rooms, and we had to accommodate to their schedules. So, Tariq's in here, right?
Yeah. So that's like different days that we're cutting in between, and see the kid in the lower part of the screen with the same sweatshirt. He was in the hallway with a green sweatshirt a minute ago. I just like pointing these out.
This is probably my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah, this is Tariq's big moment in.
Listen.
And this took so long. This took so many takes to get right here. In a minute, see
that book flip.
That
it has to be legit.
Yeah, and this right here, I couldn't think of anything to say. So,
do you appreciate chemistry? Because I don't think you do.
So yeah, that as I was saying, the continuity error. That book, the chemistry book that I put in my locker, and now I have it again.
Yeah,
that he flipped over. So
it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
But like this was later on into the filming, so we didn't actually really keep up with that too much. But I don't think anybody's going to be like looking at this that intensely.
Foster Sensei was just the best.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
I wasn't here for this day of filming.
No, I think Jesse filmed it, and afterwards, Crawford, who's on the very left, said, "That Jesse guy, he's just an ass, you know." I I'm sorry, but I know he's your friend. But
Well,
still.
the thing about Jesse was I think he could see how frustrated I would get with people some days when we were filming, and he was just like, I'm not gonna want to deal with this. So
Exactly. And
Jesse,
he's an ROTC,
yeah,
and so he knows how to be authoritative.
he's got crowd control.
Mhm.
All right.
Oh God, most things that or most of Walter's
Stories
story. Well,
like
everything that is in the movie with Walter
was pretty much legit.
was pretty much based on true events.
Yeah.
I'm not joking.
It was originally not. What did we? Did you guys refilm that with not an anatomy book?
That's different. That's
Okay.
different. It's that we'll get to that. It's like in the
Oh right, this was
second
not-
act.
I wasn't here for that scene.
Yeah, it's all out of order.
Yeah. So Walter's always got something weird to show everybody. Oh, did I just?
You just switched it to mono for a second.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
He gets nervous sometimes.
That's why the camera's all shaky. Yeah, Tariq was probably one of my favorite actors. Like that I didn't know before the movie started. He's just a lot of legitimate reactions, I guess.
And now you have like a class with him this year.
Yeah, I do.
So that's kind of cool. And every now and then people will come over to a group of my friends and me and just say, they'll compliment us on the movie because that's what we're known for apparently.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool.
This guy,
Daniel, who was always stealing stuff. In the movie you'll notice that's really all he does when he's in the scene. He'll just take something of Walter's. I think it's only in 2 scenes.
I feel so uncomfortable every time I watch Daniel talking on this scene because he's always like just smiling really hard and like kind of like tilting his head.
Yeah. Crawford's part, like all of these are ad libs. These offsides.
Yeah.
Or asides. I should probably say it correctly now.
I love that little hand thing.
Yeah.
The other guys told you, but I'll be honest, he's weird.
Yep, spot on.
I have some hair, and I was like, what? And he was like, I like this girl, and that's all that needs to be said.
True story, bro.
True story.
Best trip to the bathroom I ever had. But anyway,
Xander. Everything that came out of his mouth was pure genius.
We had to
comic
actually-
gold.
He had to say that he went to the bathroom because these were on different days of filming.
Yeah.
And he was not there.
That's true. He was actually making up for the fact that he was not in the first
Yeah.
part of that scene. So that, I'm telling you, it's everything genius.
I kind of like the impression that I've gotten from people when they watch this movie is that they're like, no one knows what Xander's talking about, do they? Like,
No.
like it makes a little bit of sense, and if you really tried to pay attention, you could be like, oh, I see what he's saying, but he's like, what?
And everything that he speaks is also the truth as well, which is what I really enjoy about this movie is that these are real interactions and these are real people. These are our, somewhat fictionalized versions of ourselves, but ourselves nonetheless.
So the people that go to White Station and see this are going to know that the bell sound is
Not a
the
real bell.
Yeah,
So I add that in there later.
it sounds pretty good. I mean,
Yeah.
I couldn't tell.
I mean, I just downloaded it from some website. I don't like this scene particularly because of the lighting changes, and also a lot of the first act, and people have told me this, who have watched the movie, kind of drags a little bit, but it's expositional. So,
Yeah.
but the thing is, a lot of the great jokes that are in the movie are come in like right off the bat.
Right. Yeah, I didn't. I think I was filming this, and it was like probably the 20th take that we actually
Probably.
got it.
As we progressed, things got we kind of got the flow of it, and it was. I mean, of course, there were bloopers for nearly every scene in the movie, but we grew into our acting roles.
Yeah, but that last shot, there was I was filming it, and there was a cement pillar directly behind me, and Xander's holding the boom mic. So right here, there's a pillar behind us, and we're just trying to film everybody and show Tyler's portfolio and get all these people here.
It was pretty
Without,
crowded.
Making any mic sounds or
Mhm.
running into the actual cement pillar.
Yeah.
I didn't mean that kind of go. Hey guys, break it up.
Just
Yeah, so awkward.
It's a real phrase that he says.
Yeah. Jesse did a lot of so we actually ended up showing an umbrella right there.
Yeah, which is every now and then you will see equipment that is in the shot, and sometimes it's not intentional, but sometimes, like one particular instance that you'll see later in the movie, we purposely
Right.
let the boom dip in the shot.
Yeah. Multiple times we would just unpack all the equipment onto some desks, and it would
It would just stay
look
there.
like it was people's backpacks and binders and stuff. So it's actually pretty convenient.
So this scene right here that you're watching right now, that was filmed on a Saturday in April. We came up to the school. We were we thought we were going to be the only ones on campus, but in fact there was like a convention going on. It was like Indian Cultural Festival,
Yeah,
which
that
is what the
banner
banner
right
is
back
for
there.
that you'll see. And so we didn't get any complaints, but
Right. People were staring.
yeah,
And there was this really awkward moment where Quinn and Becca are over at the tree. We're standing right where we were in that last shot. And we were trying to get like a faraway shot of them, like boyfriend, girlfriend-y.
yeah.
And I was like, Quinn, give her a kiss. And I was screaming, and I realized everyone in the convention right there in that room was just like looking at me, like awkwardly shouting at two people to make out for the camera. So that was awkward.
Michael, he's just there. He's just there.
How many lines does he have in the whole movie?
Two?
No.
1. I think it's 1. No, 2. He has 2 lines.
2 lines.
He has 2 lines. I need to give him credit for those lines.
He was there a lot more than like he was in the movie, because I remember seeing him around a lot, but we never actually like filmed him.
Yeah, he was like an extra every now and then. Listen to this. This is good.
This is the best part. So the first time that happened was like a legit just reaction, and he just made that up on the spot, and we didn't really get like a good quality shot of it, so we had to do it again. It wasn't as genuine as the first time, but that was all Quinn.
Yeah.
I've seen him time and time again.
I think it's Ben being poetic.
And it never ends well. Oh, hi,
Oh, hi.
Quinn. He's Slav, by the way. So, how's it going, man?
Love Michael just like
And this part right here, I intentionally storyboarded what is about to happen. See that wave there, and just like looking strangely.
he wasn't even there when we actually filmed Becca waving, and she had no clue what was happening. So we were like, just awkwardly wave like in this direction.
Yeah.
was
This scene.
just
This is the very first
very
scene
first
that we filmed. We actually, I remember this. I don't have a photographic, or I don't remember everything that happens, but I do remember some dates because of all the stress that was involved. So I remember we filmed this on the last day of February, and it was actually the second try, because the first one we had done 3 days before. We had a little sound problem, but we were able to actually get most of the people back, including Quinn, Mr. Robbins.
Yeah. Getting Mr. Robbins to act with us was hard because he doesn't have a classroom, he floats.
Mhm.
So, we had to find him in the school and bring him to the classroom and see if he was able to act with us.
Of course, this is the class that he taught us in first semester, etymology. And the Marvin thing that just happened, that's also based on real life. That's a real phrase that Rahul and Quinn would say. And that's the thing. A lot of the aspects of the movie, just little jokes here and there, and some of the lines even, were written by Rahul.
Yeah.
And so he did contribute quite a bit to the making of the movie, even though he did not star in it. He was actually supposed to be in Quinn's place. Originally, I wrote the part of the hopeless romantic for Rahul because he told me that's the character that he wanted to play. And the scheduling
So okay, right here. That's actually me holding the camera
Yeah.
saying that.
We used, and Jesse
Yeah.
was a background person.
And it's funny because like you would think they'd be sitting right there at the left on that desk, off the screen
Yeah.
or something. And like couple scenes later, it's actually Deandra sitting there. I think,
Yeah.
right? So
Mhm.
she had a man voice. We don't have to talk about it.
The cards. This happened every day. We would have our card quiz over what we learned the previous day.
It was weird because I was in Mr. Robbins' class for a little bit this year, even though I took etymology last year. It was just like a glitch when they made my schedule, and I was just like reliving it all, seeing him doing these things. This scene was kind of awkward because I feel like Mr. Robbins didn't fully like take on the role of the teacher. Like Quinn is directly cheating, and you're both like speaking to each other, and he just
Tom blanked all of his hair because of the chemical spill.
blankly staring at
Yeah.
Quinn like a cheat off of Tyler's paper.
Alright, let's pass our cards this direction.
Yeah, that's me.
Sleeping. And now you're nagging me. What you want?
That was probably the worst part of my year. The fact that Tyler would say that every time I asked him a
What
question.
you want? And as you'll learn later in the movie, because I actually talk about this in an aside,
Do chemistry.
that's
Conversation is not
my friend in middle school would say that to
Yeah.
me, and he would say a lot of things, so that's just kind of resonated. Fun fact: Alexander was originally not the one who was writing the short stories. It was Henry,
Yeah.
and we filmed this scene after another scene that we referenced that, because he was like, dude, I don't want to get involved in your affairs. It's all started when Roger stole my idea, so I had to cut that out.
So I thought the scene was over there, and I'm just like making it rain, and they bring the camera back around, and he's like, "Oh God."
It was funny though, because it's what your natural reaction would
Yeah.
be. Hold on. Shh. Wait, so did you get the hint? Summit.
Look
And
at
then
Lily. Get your hands on the screen. So that's it. That's the thing.
yeah, that's where it came from.
That's the whole thing. Everything in the world comes from that.
Yep.
You're right. I never got on.
And
So-
yeah, that book. I
That was
actually,
just like that was part of the scene,
Yeah.
but that was actually my just like anxiety of having to wait for people to
Mhm.
organize
right.
the filming. I just started drawing it. I think I just wrote the word lemon over and over.
You did.
inside
I looked in there recently, and I showed it on my extended vlog that I did the other night. I took a bunch of the loose papers that we had in the film, including the signatures and the book, and I showed it to the camera and talked about it.
So those little things that look like calculators in the back of the room were probably the worst like school device that we ever used.
Yeah.
So there's some things you want to talk about. There's some things you wanted to talk
Yeah.
about.
Looking at my notes here, my notes for the commentary. I kind of want to talk a little bit about the origins of the movie. But I think I'll wait a minute because I
Okay.
want to talk about the scene that's coming up after this. Forms.
Forms.
Come on, guys.
Lily, you've got to sign this.
I'm not proud of my final performance on this scene.
You don't think so?
I-
Jesse was filming. He didn't show her face enough, but I think
Yeah.
that's just because we were kind of rushing a little bit. Because it did take a long time for us to get settled.
The other scenes with Lily in the chemistry room turned out pretty well, but
Yeah.
this one I wasn't too proud of it.
But this is, again, based on real events. They think that my signature looks like Lily's signature, even though it bears no resemblance whatsoever.
There's so much resemblance, Tyler.
You sign your name
You
on the card?
wouldn't believe it.
No,
I love that.
I literally looked at the paper and just like, no.
It's identical. Look at it. We got it. Tyler
It's,
Pilkinton.
it's not identical.
We should go back and pause it because that is just so legit.
Well, the audience can do that. Decide
yeah,
for
go
themselves.
back, pause it. The top one says Tyler. The bottom one says Lily. We added the
You
hearts.
know, I just thought
There's a chemistry book.
of a good comeback.
Yeah, what?
Awesome ends with me, but ugly just begins with you.
Dang.
So bad.
Real phrases. Again, like I said, a lot of the jokes and references are to real life things
Yeah.
that happen to us.
First,
And this hot chocolate thing,
chocolate,
he
This
just
is so
made
weird.
it up on the spot.
sushi, whatever.
I'm not kidding.
Then you melt it.
It's so weird.
You take the chocolate, smear it all over.
Our reactions just like, wow, what?
Then
And there's a little subtle,
graham crackers.
very subtle when the camera zooms
It's
in.
the inciting moment, as it is called in the film in films. It happens about 20 minutes in.
Oh yeah.
Hold on.
Run,
Run, everybody! So, fun fact number 2, there was only one cupcake that was thrown in the original shot, so I took a green screen, hung it up in layers, I threw it at different angles, and I layered it so it looked like, more intense.
That's why it's kind of the same sound every
Yeah.
time. It's just a cupcake,
Like, where did they get all those cupcakes,
This is so great.
I love this, where I just put my hood back on.
I was filming this, and I knew he was going to come back eventually, so I just kept filming.
Yeah.
it.
And this is great right here.
Oh, and so these janitors were actually there watching us do this at the time. I would never litter, but we always have a bunch of trash there, and they
Well,
were just
yeah.
watching us throw around the trash there.
Because it is the outside of a school cafeteria, so people will be wasteful.
It's so funny.
Okay, so I want to get back to what I was going to talk about earlier, where the movie idea came from. So back in summer of 2013, I started a vlog with Rahul, and it was called The Project for Awesome, and it was based on the Vlog Brothers channel, YouTube channel that he introduced me to a few months earlier. So we did a similar type back and forth kind of thing. So I realized, it would be kind of fun, because I had made a couple movies beforehand, in middle school and elementary school, and I thought it would be fun to kind of collaborate with some people on a project, big, movie project. So Rahul was the first person that I told, and so that's how he was involved from the start.
Yeah.
And I started writing a treatment, which is the precursor to a script, and got Xander and some other people. And actually, I had not met you at that point.
Right.
And so we met in chemistry.
Yeah.
And so I was writing the script during the fall, and Richard wanted to be involved. So we decided to do some skits, because there are some YouTube skits.
It's actually pretty funny how I got involved in it, because we used to not sit at the same table, or in the seating arrangement that we show in the movie, and I used to sit on another side of the table, the other side of the classroom, with Henry, who is supposed to be who Xander is, in some of the scenes,
Mhm.
and Henry has a hearing aid, and a lot of times I would talk to him in class, and he wouldn't understand me, because we're trying to be discreet, right? And
Yeah.
I'm not attacking him or anything, but he wouldn't understand me, and I think he would get mad at me. So I was that was before I really knew him. So I I moved over, and then he moved over with me, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever. But so that's how we ended up actually sitting all over there and all getting involved in the project.
And the 5 of us, you, me, Henry, Xander, and Lily.
Yeah.
We were our little own group, and we would go out to eat every now and then, at restaurants, and we made a vlog.
Here's the trip.
The trip. That was
So subtle.
that was funny. This thing, the hair, my God.
So that is the actual bag. Am I correct?
No,
That's not.
it's a sandwich bag.
Oh. Wait, didn't he actually? Isn't that the actual one?
No.
I thought it was.
Well, it doesn't matter, because
Yeah.
he still took this girl's hair. I mean, he didn't take it. I need to defend him a little bit.
He jacked it off of his
He
shoulder.
jacked it off of his shoulder because it had fallen on there, and put it in a plastic bag, labeled in Sharpie. I think that was like 10th grade that happened.
That's so crazy,
that was,
man.
So because I put that in the film, that was one of the first things that I wanted to put in the movie.
I love Quinn's just like, just don't ruin it.
Just don't. Suits, and this is again channeling Rahul. This is something that I would do with Rahul freshman year. I would suit up with him because of How I Met Your Mother,
Yeah.
and so there are many parallels. Just because, like I said, the lines were written for Rahul.
Right.
So
Yeah, we had a lot of people who were originally supposed to be in the movie, and they kind of like ditched us,
yeah,
or they couldn't film with us,
Yeah.
or they were too busy. Like Evan Patrick wanted to be in it, and then, you know,
he was supposed to be like a stereotypical nerd
yeah,
in the movie. He had a whole plan. He was gonna bring like these glasses, nerd glasses,
Yeah.
and like,
Hey guys, you want to play Dungeons and Dragons?
right. And then, God, please don't do that. Xander was actually almost not in the movie as well, because what happened, like, I remember just one time we were going to film and his parents called up and they were like, we didn't know he was going to be in this movie. We thought he was studying after school. And,
so that was kind of a scare. So this right here, we filmed like 3 minutes worth of footage of him just reacting to we had just told him, and this is kind of based off how I reacted when Walter first told me that he did this, and that's just beautiful right there.
Yeah. I actually heard about the hair before I even knew who Walter was. So when I saw him, I never would I'd seen him in my classes before. I never would have expected how strange of a guy he was. But
That's not something that you can anticipate how
Yeah.
strange Walter is, and as you'll see as the movie progresses, his character gets weirder and weirder as he is, done in real life.
this was so hard to film.
Yeah, did you film this? Or
I did
Jesse?
film it.
Oh,
I was holding the camera by the top handle, and I was walking backwards down the stairs, and we decided not to use the boom mic after a while because we realized it's just impossible.
Yeah. Well, when we were walking in the hallways and up and down stairs, we would just use a little mounted mic.
Yeah.
And,
there, someone had to hold the door open for me.
Yeah.
Well, maybe over break then?
Oh yeah, that's right.
And we got these people they were actually like the garden club, and
Yeah.
also some of them were in like theater people hanging out after school, and I went up to them because I was trying to find extras, and I said, like, hey, you guys want to be in a movie? And they're like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. We're just gardening.
Mr. Rich.
Mr. Richardson. That's it.
The Hawaiian shirts.
The way that we showed him is exactly how he is.
Yeah.
Like just like I don't know. He's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Go and do whatever you got to do. I don't really care.
I swear, I've seen him every now and then this year, and every time that I go up to him, or that he comes up to me, because he'll visit sometimes, my class, because it's like right next door, and he'll look at me because I've grown out my mutton chops, and he's like, dude, you have to shave those. You have to get rid of that.
Wait, that's Mr. Richardson?
Yeah.
You told me that earlier
Mhm.
in the halls today, and I thought you were talking about Mr. Berlin, and I was like, what?
No, Mr. Richardson.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's more like him.
Yeah.
Alexander saying Tuesday's hump day. That's wrong.
Hump.
I know.
That was a very popular commercial when we were filming Geico commercial. There it is. There's the boom push.
You can see the reflection
Yeah.
of the boom mic.
And the thing is, we noticed that originally it was just going to be a regular aside, and we noticed that you could see the reflection, so we actually incorporated
Yeah.
that into the movie. So that's the kind of stuff that made it more authentic, I guess, was when we were filming, things would happen, we would notice things, we would come up with things on the spot, and it just made it more comedic.
So it's stuff in the background. It's like some huge machine, that white thing in the left. And fun fact, we never actually used that in class. And one day after school, we find Mr. Richardson like on Friday. I think it's me and Jesse walk over there, and he's just sitting in there, and he's got some like jar of brown stuff, and he's just mixing all these chemicals together, and we're like, "What are you doing, man?" And he's like, "Nothing." So weird.
Breaking Bad.
Hashtag Breaking Bad. My teacher.
So-
math.
Right here, we're talking about planning a skit at a friend's house. So I think that would be a good opportunity to kind of jump back into the skits.
So practically,
Originally, when I wrote the treatment, we were going to be making a movie in school. It was always a collaborative project, in a high school setting. But after I had started making more YouTube videos, I realized that's kind of the direction that we should go. So I came up with the idea for YouTube skits. And so what Richard was talking about back when we had just met each other, and he started sitting behind me, he heard about the movie, he wanted to get involved. So we went over to Ben's house and made this like parkour video, and it was absolutely just like a massive joke. And
What you want?
and it didn't go viral, but it kind of went semi-viral,
That's
like-
like 100 views.
like 100 views in a month, I think. So, and it spawned a series of other skits that we did, Augustus Clearwater skits, that we continue to do to this day, and it's just like become its own separate entity from the movie. And I just think that's pretty cool how it was inspired by just idea that I had come up with while I was relaxing one summer day, just thinking I want to make a movie.
Let's make a movie.
And that's how all of this has come to be.
It's a fun fact. When I was really young, I had a little digital camera, and I kind of did the same exact thing that you did, but it was just one YouTube video. And it was a silent video where I just got up and I was bored, and I did a bunch of random stuff, and then I end it where I'm like, I know, I'm gonna make a movie. And you can find that on YouTube somewhere.
I don't even know him that well.
This right here, Henry's aside, it's like every time we watch it
Oh god.
and he's talking about
It's like,
Richard,
I went back and
you'll say like
Just
I'm
listen.
really
Yeah.
hungry, and then it's like half full. I was like, what the heck? Like, then I get so angry. Nothing can describe it. It's like,
Yeah.
I can't. I'm speechless for words. I can't like it. I hate this person so much, and I
Oh,
can't
wait.
really tell him because it's like, well, I don't even.
We all know this is true.
yeah,
too.
it's like coming from the heart almost.
Like I was standing right there watching him saying these things, just like, oh god.
Right here, this scene. This is the first scene that we filmed in Mr. Berlin's room, and Mr. Berlin, I mean, obviously he knew what we were doing because I had made the storyboard my art project for the semester, and when we started filming and he was hearing some of the lines that we were saying, I kind of felt a little embarrassed because the raciest, not racist, but raciest scene that we did because we're talking about race. But it's all satirical, so I was kind of worried. But Mr. Berlin just he enjoyed it. He enjoyed every bit
There's
of it.
the pillar.
Yeah.
I thought this room was a really good environment for filming because a lot of times in movies when they show like an art room or something, they get like a professional artist to do a bunch of sketches and just kind of like put them up on the wall. But this was like a bunch of people's work just kind of sitting around
Yeah.
the back.
And
Yeah.
everything that we were working on was our real classwork as well.
Like this is all student work, and that's Da Vinci. He was also a student of Mr. Berlin.
Yes. He also went by the name of Van Gogh.
It was Da Vinci. Good job catching that.
So all of the transition shots that you see were added in, like after we had filmed basically everything else. So we just went around, especially at school. We went around the last day of school and just shot a bunch of buildings, and my
Yeah.
house in the summer, and also the scenes at home where I'm at home. There were originally supposed to be more of those. Like there was supposed to be one, like for every day day being in quotation marks. Like in the film, there was supposed to be a scene of me getting up and getting ready, and we decided that was going to be kind of distracting from the essence of the film.
Yeah.
So look at my nice hairy legs there.
Oh yeah. I remember towards the end of the year, it was really hard to get
Yeah.
those scenes filmed because it was like, everybody was winding down, and with exemptions that became like a thing. It was just hard to like coordinate if people were still going to be there on that last day.
Which is why, because I was exempt from all of my exams, so we filmed all like the last bit that we needed at school 3 days before the official end of school.
Yeah. I only had to take one exam, and it was for Mr. Richardson, of course. I was like 2 points away from being exempt, and I remember waking up that day. It was the last thing I had to do before summer. It was taking an exam, so I just got up. I was like, I'm just gonna not try, and I bombed his exam.
So fun fact number 4, I think we're on.
Oh
Yeah, I am keeping count. This was originally supposed to be like a text-based communication thing, but we decided it'd be easier to do a video chat, and we like told Ben to pretend like he didn't know how to use his
Yeah.
computer.
And that would be like Ben, he's into like 60s music and pinball machines, but he doesn't know how to operate like an iPhone. I mean, not that that's true, but it's...
Well, he does have his first phone like he got recently. Just
Yeah,
a
he just got
Nokia.
it.
It's actually a really nice phone.
I have this Apple here. It's a flip phone
It's a flip phone,
with a sticker on it.
and it's not really Apple.
It's not even a flip phone. It's like a
It's a slide phone.
slide phone.
It's medieval technology.
Yeah.
I kind of get on to him a
It's-
little bit.
It's powered by chickens and stones. I don't know. I lost my train of thought. What's happening? in
This
video?
is true right here. What's happening right now? Look at that. That is a real
Oh.
struggle that's going on right there.
This is real. He was doing it.
I literally waited because I do this every week, so I was anticipating the moment where the cars that are in the driveway or in the carport would be equally spaced apart, where I would have enough trouble getting the garbage can out. But that trailer was there, so that was a nice opportunity.
Yeah.
This scene is the skit. It's like the epic part of the second act. We filmed it in the middle of June, and it was kind of. Did we really Did you and I hang out before between? Oh, we made a skit at Jesse's house, like the last after, like the Friday after school ended.
Yeah, we did do that.
And then I think
Welcome to my humble abode.
that was kind of loud in my earphones, my
Yeah.
headphones. Ben's got a magnificent house. This is actually where we filmed one of the skits called The Remote.
Oh yeah.
And I remember we went there like 3 times, 3 weekends in a row, because the first time we didn't use any of the footage because we had no idea what we were doing, obviously. And then we went there again like the next Saturday to film it. This was in like December, and then we finished it up the next weekend. But I think it turned out pretty well.
Yeah. This is it was really hard to film in here because it made for kind of like a cool aspect of the film, but these pinball machines actually have real metal what do they call it? Like keys, I guess,
Mhm.
that it hits with a mallet every time you like get anything in the game. So it's just this constant ringing of like, it's not even like a recorded sound, it's a real mallet
It was
hitting.
real natural sound.
Yeah.
Xander ad-libbed this thing that he was about to say right there.
This door is stupid.
We had
And
to
of course,
refilm
that's
that 'cause
all.
it was-
That's all that I could come up with. I'm not an actor.
We had to refilm that because I was in the mirror right there.
Yeah.
Man, what's up? What you suck me? What took y'all so long? It's 89 degrees out there.
And it was. I checked my phone, and it was 89 degrees.
So accurate.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not an actor.
Yeah.
You play pinball? I love that. Here's Gwen.
Quinn, good old Quinn.
I've got a very important question to ask you.
This is so stupid.
Will you compete with me in pinball?
Rahul wrote that line. See, Rahul, when he saw, because I uploaded like the poster for the movie a few weeks before it came out, and Rahul saw his name, he like in the writers section, he was like, "I didn't do crap for this. Why is my name in there?" And I was like, "You wrote some lines that are said by Quinn, so you contributed to the movie."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Okay." I don't think I think he lost interest kind of quickly because he is very busy. But did I just say busy? He was very busy.
I never even actually saw Rahul in the entire progress of the movie.
No.
Like, he never showed up or anything.
And it's weird because there were some other people who were also supposed to be like kind of on the crew that never did become involved, like Ilias.
Oh, yeah.
He was supposed to be part of the equipment crew, and Evan also was, and he could have done it, but he told me that his dad wouldn't let him be in the movie because it wasn't for a grade.
And then, of course, there was people in the movie who were showing up all the time that
Mhm.
maybe we didn't want to show
Yeah,
up.
exactly.
But we don't need to talk about that. But, I mean, we did have a lot of ghetto encounters, so to speak, where there's just a bunch of, like, a group of people hanging out that just wanted to disturb the filming. But that's what, yeah, it's public school.
Mhm. Whatever, man. Oh, this is good right here. We had a lot of references to other media in the movie, like Ben's T-shirt is an Aperture Science T-shirt, and that's from the video game Portal. And what else was in there that you can think of?
There was a good few of them.
Well, the entire suit up thing was
Right.
based on How I Met Your Mother, like I said originally, and
And then there was the other reference to How I Met Your Mother that was what was it? Lily.
yeah,
Come on.
Lily,
Come on. Come on. Lily.
which, if you think about it, is an exact quote because that is what Ted said to
Yeah.
the character Lily.
Here we go.
It was
it's-
weird because that was about how Ted was like making out with Lily and he was too much tongue guy or something.
And we always tell Lily that she looks exactly like the mother in How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
Because she does.
Look at Quinn reading
Quinn.
his phone.
When he's found, and this he could have, I think, off the top of his head, recited the first few lines of Romeo and Juliet, but he was doing that purposefully because I never did specify in the or no, I did. I specified in the movie that he was in theater, so we can tell that he's not very good at what he does in the movie, but in real life, you know, he was probably the best actor I think we had on the cast list because you know he's classically trained, I guess.
I just love this how it
Yeah.
was put together with Xander actually filming it, and
yeah.
then me filming
and the footage.
it.
That footage is what you're watching right now. And this is the style that we would do an Augustus Clearwater video in case you haven't seen any of our others. And the music, I have to talk about. Or no, here, hold on. Cool.
There is no character development in this game. That is my problem.
That's one of the best parts. There is no character development in this skit.
What am I doing? Do I have a role in this game?
This is about to get
Stand.
crazy. We just told him to stand still. Ben's just acting crazy. This music is the music that was in our first video. Is the only music. It was by it's from this website called Incompetech. It's royalty free music. There's like thousands of tracks on there by this one guy, Kevin McLeod, and his music is in thousands of YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Even like major YouTube videos.
Don't just stand there, and you're just standing there.
That was comic gold. And that's a Seinfeld reference. George is getting upset. Alone.
And this was we were not originally gonna film this, or something
No.
about this scene was.
No,
I think
this
everybody
was-
had to go.
Well, yeah. this was in the script from the start. It was actually, there was more to it. We in the original script, we kind of got into an argument about Microsoft versus Apple, and we started talking about editing software, and I storyboarded that, and I cannot find that on my computer. Like,
Oh, really?
I recorded my own voiceovers, and I can't find that on my computer. It's weird.
Lost footage.
Lost footage.
It'll
from
one day be worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
Look at the gorilla suit in the background. That is a gorilla suit, right?
Yeah, with the Pikachu in front of it.
Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Augustus Clearwater. Every time I say it, it's like Augustus Clearwater. Videos about deep stuff.
The what's it called? The email for Augustus Clearwater and the password and everything are still written like somewhere hidden on my that bunk that I have.
Oh yeah. Shri was actually supposed to be the one who told me about Quinn and Becca's breakup, and she couldn't show up that day, so we got Deandra. Deandra was just hanging out, and was like, Tyler, can I come with you? So yeah, we said sure.
Yeah.
And so she was really good in the scene. She was actually in one of my other movies that I did back in middle school. She played an FBI agent, so that was cool to have her return.
I always love the when you sarcastically say something, you just look at the screen like, oh, that's terrible.
That's terrible.
Stare.
But I'm glad he did.
Yeah, he's kind of in a rough patch.
I don't doubt it.
You know what we should do?
Tell him we're sorry for his loss.
No, we have to get him a gift.
And it's kind of interesting
I was gonna say
when what happens on screen is basically word for word what I wrote and what I had in mind for how that would be filmed. It was really cool. And it was supposed to be outside originally.
That freaking teamwork thing. They spent all the school budget making a poster.
Yeah.
And he's just playing Minecraft here,
Yeah.
digging straight down.
This is, I remember this
Tease
is
me.
like the fourth scene that we filmed because it was the day before spring break, right?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And if you watch the making of for the It Just Might Work, you'll see we talk about Xander bringing food because Walgreens is like right next to our school, and he would go to Walgreens and buy like drinks, and we got chicken from Kroger.
I just want to point out that the chemistry book was behind Walter in that shot. They might show it again.
Look, I don't want to comfort him either. I can only imagine.
And there's the chemistry book under my
Oh, yeah.
binder too.
Yeah, that was when we were really going pro. It's
Those-
there,
yeah.
and then it's the same book. It's gonna be behind Walter.
It's kind of interesting because the scenes, if you haven't been able to tell by now, this was shot out of sequence. So the scenes that we filmed earlier that had the chemistry book are kind of spread out now. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like, look for the chemistry book, you know?
Right.
Oh, Quinn.
This is a really great
This
scene.
was really great acting right here from Quinn, and his ad libs were just spot on.
I don't know how he managed to get his eyes so red.
I don't either. I've thought about that. I wondered about if those were real tears or what.
He's crying for.
How do you know? She told you?
Yeah.
Chemistry book.
Walter.
Chemistry book. I Spy. The Pat. So awkward. So this was part scripted, part ad lib, and we'll just leave this for a moment of silence because this is gold.
Genius.
Seas are dying. They're drying up and leaving nothing left but the tears of the heartbroken and sand.
Tyler's just like,
And I was
don't know if I should laugh or cry.
and I was trying not to. That was the thing. We had to do that twice. Oh, Cole saved us a lot because
he was always there for
He was-
filming, but he wasn't actually a part of the movie, and he just kind of showed up as like a
He
background.
kind of filled in for a lot of the roles in the script. There's just like student number 1.
Yeah,
you
people
know?
who would just like
Yeah, let's go with
drop
that. You're
like
free.
their role and
Yeah.
not show up that day.
Not be any more free.
Wrong. He didn't show up ever.
He didn't show up to any of the shootings. And after a while, we just didn't expect him to.
This is it, man. This is the climax of the movie.
No, this is not it.
This is it.
No, it's later. I'm telling you.
Hey Tyler. What? Why don't we make a scene
Oh.
where like I get in a fight with Lily?
It's got some really great lines, though, if you listen to it.
Why do you guys keep fighting?
There's Cole in the back.
Yeah, there he is.
Asking a legitimate question.
You guys are a shit. This is in the trailer.
Right? The ugly one, little short, tiny one, really ugly, complains a lot. She's probably the worst person on earth. Like, I absolutely hate her. I can't live with her. Why does she always have to make comments about everything that I do? It's like, you're short. If I kicked you, you would go flying. So shut up.
Lily was digging into it,
Mhm.
but I know that Lily doesn't like hate me, but it's still
It came off. She did a really great job. And you did too, just making sure everybody knew that you hated each other
Yeah.
in the movie. And it kind of shows in some of the earlier videos that we would do for YouTube. You would be mean to her because you're like getting in character.
Please, there is
There's no twerking in the hole.
Just added that in. We did a couple announcements because the announcements at White Station are humorous because they just
Always
don't know
so
what they're doing.
dumb.
This right here, fun fact number 5, maybe?
Chemistry books. Oh, just kidding.
No,
Wait, there it is.
that's an
Under
encyclopedia with
Wikipedia.
encyclopedia with anatomy-related things, as you could see. So, and there's Daniel stealing it. So, I wrote the scene, I rewrote it, like the day that we shot it, because we were using something else, another book. It was like manga.
Manga. Oh.
I think I know him a little too well. I don't even know why him and Tyler are friends.
And it had a kind of a risque cover, but it was something that we didn't want to put in the movie just because of kind of like the social backlash that we might have received because of what was on the cover. And I'm just going to leave you guys to wondering about what that is.
Can
So
we
I
just
changed it to an
acknowledge
encyclopedia.
how demented he is, and then let's also acknowledge the fact that like someone made an origami box to put Cheetos in
That
because
was
we
Daniel.
didn't. Yeah, because we didn't want to show the Cheetos bag. That was when we were still worried about like
We were still worried about copyright,
yeah
and
stuff.
so we kind of quit worrying about that towards the end of the movie because we figured
Okay.
let's not waste our time trying to hide everything and just let it be shown.
Let it be, man.
This scene was completely ad-libbed, 100, well not 100%, like
92%.
80-90% ad-libbed.
Jesse's just so freaking crazy, man. Like, that's exactly how Jesse is. Just not really any reason why, but just messing with people just to do it.
He was, I hate to say it like this, but he was off his medicine that day. So I'm not being mean. I'm just stating a fact.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of worked to our benefit a little bit because that made him, he's just like no filter.
No
That
filter.
day.
Hashtag no filter.
Oh,
Oh, jinx. 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 I
Oh,
got you.
crap.
You can't say anything anymore until I say Tyler. God!
You lose.
That would have been perfect for this commentary. It's me talking the rest of the time. So, hey, guys. Tyler's no longer a part of this.
No, I am. I'm still talking.
Whatever.
I was unjinxed.
That was good, though. That was good.
That was fun.
So yeah, sorry we forgot to invite you that one video.
He fails the throw. And he just like asked Silas like 3 pencils that he directly stole from him.
Mr. Berlin. And we couldn't help but laugh at that, so that's why that's still in the film. And this, after this, is where Clinton, he reveals his true character in the movie. It's coming up in a minute here.
It was really funny.
Really fun. Jesse is a really great actor.
Yeah, like even more so than Quinn in some senses. That he's
In
just,
some senses, yeah.
it's just like I don't know. I feel like Jesse's always acting sometimes.
Yeah.
If it's not Jesse, it's Shri or somebody. I mean, I'm
Oh,
tired
dang.
of people at this school.
It's not Jesse. It's Shri.
Right here.
I won't take those guys down on YouTube.
Just wait for a second, see what happens.
Nobody ever likes my videos. But
Some money for your trouble.
the pat.
The thing that he does right there, the first time he did that, because that was ad-libbed as well, Clinton, he tried to hold it together. He tried really hard, and he's just... Let's start that over.
Yeah, Jesse just kind of like, I mean, he really didn't care that we were filming. He would just go in and interrupt it. And the thing is that it was usually just what we needed, and it was actually
Yeah.
really good.
Right here, I remember this. This
We
is
were-
so good.
This was the first outside scene that we
Yeah.
filmed, I think, and it was really hard.
you know,
We were
'Cause
all
the
really
wind.
afraid to touch Walter's laptop.
kind of worried. Worried that might strike him down too hard.
And it's kind of cool because there are a bunch of people in the background, so it looks like lunch. And I sometimes forget that it was like 2:30. You
Yeah.
know?
That offsides where Clinton was like, worried, I'm like, strike him down too hard.
Struck him down to it. It took so many
So
takes.
many tries. That was probably the one scene with the most tries.
No, that was definitely the first scene because of he kept messing up.
Exactly the way I planned. Exactly.
And this is the first time that I saw Clinton like
I planned.
ever speak over like his monotone voice, and
Yeah.
I was pretty shocked.
Because I think you had not known him before.
Yeah,
This year too. Oh, this is really good right here.
Tyler is literally sitting right now exactly where he is in the movie,
Yes, exactly.
and we're looking at it.
It's real YouTube channels. Clinton also actually does make YouTube videos in real life, and they're Lego stop motion.
Superior Lego stop motion.
If you are seeing this, that means
So this is where I was with Jesse making some water balloons, and we were messing with them so much while they were recording this, and my water balloon broke all over me.
I challenge you
My
to a battle
nemesis.
of wits. My nemesis.
This is golden because you see the difference in the image quality of
Did
it.
you do that? Did
Oh,
you
yeah.
film this off of a computer? Because I was about to ask you that. That it looks like it was like being, I don't know, like it looks.
I
Like it
did
was-
that in post-production.
It looks really good. Like it
Yeah.
looks like you're filming it.
I wish that we would have been able to make the entire film like that, but I think it looks really good. Either way.
Morning, Spartans. The green team will be meeting on Thursday. Oh, that's today. See you then, green team.
So that was like a huge satire on our.
We could have
intercom.
done a little better job making that sound like a female voice because that was me.
Yeah. But like the first intercom was making fun of someone that you might know who stutters a lot, and the second one was Tyler, and we're making fun of people like they always have like a sheet of the announcements, and they read the dates, and then they'll realize that what they are talking about is that day, and so they'll say like, "Oh, and the green team's meeting today. Oh, wait."
Yeah.
They'll be meeting Thursday. Oh wait, that was yesterday. Never mind.
Hey, Hey.
I love that. That was my favorite line.
What's it to you? I don't know.
Hey Tyler, nice video.
Thanks. Hey, man.
Her reaction
So
gets
good.
me every single time
It's like-
because, like, why are you talking to me?
So this was really tough for me because I don't know this guy who's about to come up, and
Yeah.
I just like they told me to put my hand on his hip, so I was like, okay. And I was just like holding his
And
hips.
look at the person in the background.
They didn't even know. Like they didn't even know what was happening.
Yeah, that's Edipon. It was supposed to be. Yeah, we kind of originally wanted to indicate more that Richard was gay in the movie. You remember that?
I mean, there was a couple of characters that we wanted to swing around and see who was going to be the gay person, and we decided that it was going to be me and someone else, but they decided that they didn't want to actually do that, so it was kind of me, and then it just stopped happening.
Kind of toned it down, but you know, you're only seeing some of the interactions in the school, so
yeah,
more happens afterwards. Which is why I would like to. I've never actually talked about this in any of my videos. I kind of want to do like a web series that's like a sequel to the movie, because I don't think we'll get the opportunity to make a sequel simply because no sequel would be complete without Clinton, and he's a senior this year. So I think while we still have some time with him, we should like try to come up with some ideas.
Yeah, you just have to be careful with that kind of stuff because it is a sequel and it can pretty much ruin things. Were you talking about me right then? No.
Clinton.
Yeah.
Henry. It's one of the days that he was able to come and be in the movie.
So weird seeing him around. Like he's like in there two scenes.
Yeah, and like this, because last year he would sit behind me every day and sit next to you every day in chemistry, and he was like part of our little group. And now when I pass him in the hallways, it's just like sometimes we don't even acknowledge each other. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it is weird. I don't know. I think he just kind of developed like a hatred towards everyone. Like not everyone, but like everyone that was sitting with him at the table. And you know, I don't blame him.
He's speaking truth right here. It's like I don't want to get involved in your affairs anymore.
Yeah, it's so funny because it's like I don't know. He just got the exact role that like directly represented how he felt. And yeah, we could be completely wrong, but I don't know.
It's kind of we only got to know him to a certain extent last year.
I mean, I do feel kind of bad because like I don't know. Whatever. This is it.
This is it. This is the scene. This is the climax. There's Mr. Richardson's daughter in the background, in the upper corner, just observing everything going on.
I hate both of y'all. Now shut up.
Why are you always fighting like this?
Because she's so ugly.
You're mean.
You guys just shut up.
No, Richard's being mean to me.
You're being such a girl.
I am a girl.
Mr. Richardson coffee.
Man, I wanted to
Watch
get in a
this.
fight with Lily.
Oh!
I wanted to get in a fight with Lily like all year. It was just,
Everything was building up to that moment.
I should have thrown a few punches.
To do something like that. I mean, like he just said, he had it coming. But I don't really know anyone that takes the time to slap a woman that's
no one knows what he's talking about here.
Yeah. And just look at me and my face, my eyebrows, and listen to what I say here.
He's alright. I don't know. Rich is a confusing guy. Anyone can say that.
Yes, and so are you.
Okay.
Okay. Just accepts it.
You fool. I just jinxed you. Alright, I feel bad. We're doing this thing. Tyler, you're on jinxed.
Okay.
So, I look really bad because like it looks like I'm sweating, but we were trying to put like water in my eyes to make it look like I was crying.
And we used just something that was in the classroom, like a little
Some weird
spray bottle that I think had some old water in it. So I don't think that was really the best idea.
Yeah, spraying it like right in my eyes.
Right here, the first time that we filmed this scene, we had a photo bomber of sorts. It's actually somebody that, I mean, I don't know him personally because I don't hang with that crowd, but we had encounters with him since the beginning of being at White Station, and just he's always there like, hey, can I be in the movie? Hey.
Who was it? I want just write it down. Just write it down.
I don't know his name, but he's just
trying to be discreet here.
Yeah.
That's what started this whole
say? Oh, I remember Clinton, or no, he asked us if we were filming something for the news, and Clinton said yeah. He said, what channel? And Clinton said whatever number channel Animal Planet is. So like, you can go watch it now on Animal Planet.
That's awesome.
This is like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's right before one of the I guess most unique scenes that we ever filmed, the montage of the contest. And originally, I mean, don't get me wrong, I am extremely satisfied with how the movie turned out, because just this is what we were able to film at school. But originally, the contest, the montage was supposed to be much longer.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be like half of the third act, and then it was supposed to have like in between scenes. Like when you watch the montage, it kind of gives the impression that it was all like over one day, and it took us like a few days to film it. But it was, and in the movie, like a month or 2 months passes. In the original script, or not even the original script, my original vision of what it would be, you were supposed to be able to kind of tell a little better that like the progression of time. And we were supposed to have more skits in the movie than we did. Like we just had the one skit, and we were going to have some of Clinton's stop motion work in there too. It's supposed to be kind of a more, I guess, social experience, but it really was a social experience, because we would just go around and hand these flyers to random people, and they would have no idea what it was. But I have to give them credit, because they didn't like look at the camera. They just accepted it. They just like acted naturally, as if because I would film some of it, and Richard and Jesse films some of it.
So there was only 4 of those posters.
Yeah, there were only 4, and one of them you'll see in a minute. We actually put it in the water fountain, so it got ruined. So then we were down to 3, and we just kept the same 3.
So we had multiple attempts at making this music video sort of deal.
Yes.
First one was like, we're going for like an acapella kind of style with me and Tyler, and it was unsatisfactory, and we tried a couple different things. We had some lyrics and stuff.
Yeah, we would record in layers, just us making rap, like a beat, like you laid down a beat track, and then some chords with, again, it was all a cappella, and then we were describing what was happening on screen.
Yeah,
and
it's,
you can
really messy.
You can actually listen to it on SoundCloud, and also there's a video in the special features playlist of the original cut of the montage with some extra footage and the song as it originally was. So we did that. Richard and I did that over some weeks, and we would like repeat some of the lines that would say like, "You can't cover that up.
That's the safety protocol."
He put the tape on this episode. So we completed that, and I think Richard expected us to do a little more work on that, and I just kind of said, because I wanted to get it done. It was during the summer. I was kind of ready to wrap it up, so I said, we're done, and I rendered it, and I put together a rough cut of the movie that it didn't have music for the most part, except for that song, and we screened it. Some people came over, like Jesse and Ben and Clinton and Alexander came over for my birthday, and we screened the rough cut. And when this scene hit, everybody was just like turned off, because it's like, what is Jesse is like, what is this?
Yeah,
is this a joke? I genuinely thought that it was a joke, but it's like, no, this is gonna be in the movie. This is gonna be in the final movie.
Yeah, I could feel it. Like when we were doing it, I was like, man, this needs to be redone. I kind of wanted Richard to do some guitar stuff for it, and he actually said that I was gonna get my band to help me write a song, and it was too much pressure. I don't know. I'm really perfectionist about like all the things that I do, so I just couldn't live with it.
So-
So I was pretty relieved when you guys took care of it for
Yeah,
me.
and again, my mother
Yeah.
did the soundtrack for this. So that's her. She was kind of going for like a James Bond kind of feel, and I think she achieved that. And I just have to really thank her for investing that much time. And there's Miss Whittington,
This was
who is our English teacher in 9th grade, clue teacher. She was a big help before the movie, before the filming started. Her husband works for MLGW, which is our like utilities department here in our city, and he works in their video department. So he does like training videos and that kind of stuff, and he was using some really high-end software. So I went into his studio one day and just looked at all this stuff that he was doing. I was like amazed because he had an entire sound stage to himself, which is where they would record stuff, stuff for like new trainees. And so Miss Whittington heard about this project and kind of, she told me that her husband did that kind of work. So she said, let's I think that he could give you some technical advice. So I went over with the impression that he was going to lend us some equipment, and that didn't happen, and I was kind of disappointed, but I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, that's some expensive stuff.
Yeah, so after that, I bought the camera that we used for the movie on eBay, and it's a really nice. I got it at a really, really good price, considering basically how big it is and how expensive it is retail. So that's what we filmed the movie
This is
with.
so great.
We had in mind, when we were doing this, we had Eye of the Tiger in mind, so that's what we were doing it to. And I put together a cut of the montage like a few weeks ago with the instrumental to Eye of the Tiger, and it's going to be up on my channel pretty soon. Because that's what we had in mind originally. I just thought it would have been kind of poetic justice to have that in there. And here's Jesse revealing that he's a traitor. And in the background, you can see Mr. Fernandez. Which he had
didn't
him
even
for
know
practical law last year, and we have him for U.S. history. And I don't think he remembers being in the movie, so we should like tell him one day.
Just never tell him.
Yeah, or just never tell him. And this scene, which is the last scene, unfortunately, except for the epilogue, which comes up after this. I originally imagined that we would have the entire cast like around the same tree that Quinn and Becca were sitting under, and we couldn't get that many people together at one time. So we kind of decided to divvy it up a little bit. The locations, like some of the shots that you see in different places, like the cafeteria where he was telling me he was gonna take me down and or like, I'll get you, Tyler. That was that was
eyebrow action.
I mean, you did that the first time, the first take, and like you told us to cut because you didn't like that. You could tell you were doing it too much. It was like, no, keep doing it. Back to the first act.
Yeah.
Subliminal messaging going.
And this is just like out of the blue because Chloe was there and she had a guitar, so it's like, we're gonna play some guitar. And yeah,
watch this.
To talk about what language people should speak.
That sentence right there was, I spliced it together because originally what he said was what people language to speak.
Yeah.
So, and he did that occasionally, so I would have to get some extra footage over your body and splice together some audio and put it in the film. I think that turned out really well. There's Jesse. Oh my god. And the first time he pulled out his cell phone, we quit filming because we thought he was actually getting a text message. And he was like, why did you do that? It's in the scene.
How? I thought you were on our side.
Me work with you? I would never do that. You're ridiculous.
But the flyers.
The flyers. The flyers.
The forms.
The forms.
Standing here arguing about YouTube videos and contests.
Yeah, I think it would.
Interlude.
We're in high school.
Emotional interlude.
Yeah.
Should be worrying about exams.
He's speaking words of wisdom.
You know,
Fun fact: we're on frame 1,300. Wait, 134,000 of the
400 of the movie. Okay.
I call it truce.
Truce. Clinton.
I just disappeared.
We couldn't get him to say truce. He was like truths, and he doesn't have a lisp or anything. But it's just kind of odd. So this scene, this actually happened. This I was house sitting for my neighbor. That's where I conceived the idea for the film. She has a pool, as you'll see in a minute, and I was the first summer I was house sitting for her, I came up with the idea for the movie, and I kind of, because I was alone, and I would just like kind of act out certain situations. I always knew that I would have a scene in here of me staying at her house. And so that's what this is. The Cheerios, that was in there from the start. That was one of the first things that I wrote in the script, or in the treatment.
I love this scene where you're just looking at some bowls while you're eating.
And there's nothing in that mug. Yeah. It's a pool scene.
One of the perks of being home during
Did you, like, edit some water sounds in there?
Some what?
Water sounds?
No, that was because the pool's right there, so the mic would pick it up.
It was just so confusing watching the scene where you dive and there's no dive sound, but you can hear water.
Well, it's because I'm talking.
Right, yeah.
And right here I'm talking about how the summer is finally here and we are free from the school, the restraints of school, and now we're back in school while we're doing this commentary, and it's like
yeah, it's I mean, I don't know. I'm done with summer. I'm ready to be in school again.
This right here was, I always knew that I would have a scene in the epilogue of Liggett doing something with pinball. I always knew, and so it's just of course
just making stuff up too, because no one knows about pinball. So. His glasses. Ah, so good.
Obviously, this is wrong because it says second, but I got first place in Texas State Championship.
Yes. And I don't even want to.
This was, and I had cut it down. Xander's, epilogue part. This is when everybody came over for my birthday, and I was really scrambling to get some footage together for everybody's epilogue part because I didn't want to have to go to different houses during the summer to just to film a bit part. So I'm glad that we were able to get this. And he's just talking about his job at Kroger. Everything that he says in this is real.
So, like, I don't even know. Like, sometimes I'm just so confused when I'm listening to Xander. Like, what is he saying?
Kind of getting back to when I was writing the script. When I wrote the epilogue, I didn't have a very good idea of what it was going to be, so I knew that it would be the major characters, what they were doing 1 month later. So originally I wrote that Xander would be like meditating or something, and I tried to get Quinn, because Quinn is a major character, and so I wanted him to be in the epilogue. And originally, like, if you go on YouTube on my channel, there's an extended version of the epilogue with some storyboards of me talking to Quinn over like Skype, and he's talking about being at the beach.
Yeah.
And we were going to film like a green screen shot of him on like lying on the beach, and he saw Becca. It was like awkward. And then in the movie, or the epilogue that was shot originally, he said, and I have some great news. Becca and I have gotten back together. I was like, oh, that's great. As I turned towards the camera. Kroger. This right here confused the heck out of a lot of people. I animated all of that in this software called Blender, and it's just, I tried to make a really crappy video game look, and just,
I wouldn't say I'd be confused by this,
because I always knew that this is what Walter's ending would be, and
it was unfortunate we had to get that like strange shot with Walter, like on an iPhone, but
yeah,
it had to be done. All right, that's
he
it.
used his phone. No, it's not it. We still got, how much time we got
the
left?
bloopies, but
No, we got like 5 minutes left. We got to talk about this.
Well, we're gonna
we
talk.
got, we,
But that's,
we
that's
got to
the
wrap
movie.
it up. We got to wrap it up.
Let's enjoy these.
Yeah.
Tradition.
What was that for? It was annoying, wasn't it? Is that what you're going for? No.
And this is an extremely stripped down version of the bloopers. Because I had to.
You made it look like he was assaulted right there.
Get up, get up. Clinton.
And Clinton's in the background like,
I uploaded the extended blooper reel on my channel. You can go check that out too.
Look, I'm trying to make a career.
I'm trying to build something.
I'm trying to build something. I stuttered. We're like looking at a blank screen right there. That's what.
Worried that I might strike him down too hard. Worried that I
Oh
might
my
strike him
God.
down too hard. I'm worried that I might strike him down too hard.
We just couldn't get it. Like,
no.
Keep it rolling.
I know.
Look, Tyler, I've been thinking. Friend to friend.
Some of this is kind of painful because like you know it's coming,
Well,
and
it doesn't matter. Basically, I just.
I just forgot.
I just forgot. Tariq. Tariq.
Action. He's always cutting everybody off.
The book's gonna go
Just-
flying some
just
random
like a
direction.
freshman wanting attention. I don't understand. Interesting everybody. It's like so annoying. It's like a freshman wanting attention. I just don't get it. He's always interrupting everybody. Just so annoying, like a freshman wanting attention. I just don't get it.
What did you say? You said something weird.
I said, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you in your sleep. Do you understand me?
He's like, you can see his face just tensing up like, ah.
Yes.
You're so ugly.
Why are you always talking to me? Shut up talking to me.
It's so unfortunate.
Hey, Tyler, I saw your skit.
Oh, you did?
I liked it a lot.
I liked it a lot.
A lot.
No.
I liked it a lot.
A lot.
What? Why don't we make a skit where like I get in a fight with you?
Hey, Tyler, why don't we make something I just really hate Richard. He's
Snakes are reptiles, right?
ugly. He has the
Mhm.
hugest nose ever in his
Well, he's in Lily.
There's that music again.
You shut up.
You're so ugly.
They're gonna say, are we? Did you get the one where we're both saying I hate you at the same time?
Yeah.
Girl.
No, I'm not. I am a girl.
Mr. Richardson's daughter in the back.
Oh wait, here it is.
Yes, I would.
When
I hate you too.
Nobody
This is
ever
good.
likes my videos.
This is what I was talking about earlier.
Let's start that over.
That was like the first take. All
right.
Oh, we're reaching the end of. No, wait. There's a little surprise at the end.
Oh yeah.
So
Let's go ahead and say our goodbyes.
yeah,
so
we
can
should.
watch it. Then.
So thank you guys for listening to this commentary. I am Todd Pilkinton,
I'm Richard Murray.
and
This
I
is
love
the,
you.
the thing. Here, watch the thing that's about to come up. Okay.
Bye.
You know, I'm really glad we did this. Like, I don't know, all it was, but it's really nice.
Yeah. Great day to be on a date, huh?